Well, good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you to the new distributor training call for Saturday, October the 6th. My name is Doug Stroup, Black Diamond in the Zija compensation plan. My wife Amy and I have been involved with Zija now since July of 2009. It's been an amazing journey for us and for many, many others on the team and around throughout Zija Nation as we have had the wonderful opportunity to take this opportunity and these wonderful world-class products literally to parts of the world, right here in our local area, hometown, people we run into, people we've shared this with, and as well as those that had ripple effect has gone out many, many other places. So it's been an amazing opportunity for us as well as for the team. So I want to say welcome again to all of our new distributors who are joining us here today. This is my privilege to be able to fill in for Mr. Fred Holmes, one of the top income earners throughout Zija Nation and throughout our country, throughout network marketing industry itself, not just within Zija. A great man, a great network marketer, a great heart for other people. He's been a tremendous help for myself and my wife Amy in our years here with Zija, and we've learned a lot from him, and locking arms with him has been a wonderful privilege. And so it's a great privilege and honor for me to be able to fill in for Mr. Fred Holmes today. Folks, there's a lot of great things going on at Summit right now in Orlando, Florida. We're going to be hearing about those things coming up very, very soon. The things that are being rolled out there, you're going to want to know about, you're going to want to incorporate and apply these things to your own businesses just as quickly as we hear the information and it's all rolled out to us. Because why? People are looking for what we have right here in our hands, and that's better health and better wealth, right? Better finances and the opportunity to improve our health, right? So not just for ourselves, but also for those around us, people that we know and love, and those that we come in contact with every day. So today, just for the next little bit, maybe half hour, maybe a little more, we're going to talk about how can you get set up for 2019. I look back at January of this year and I go, oh my goodness, where has another year gone? And folks, are we closer to reaching our goals? Many of us on the call today that are listening to this recording are just now brand new with Zija International. And I'm telling you, it is an amazing time. We'll talk about time in a minute, but an amazing time within the life of Zija International to be a part and to become a part of Zija Nation because of all the things that are taking place right now, new products being rolled out, Zija 2.0 being rolled out, the simplification of the process, all of these things are absolutely amazing. And again, it's a great, great time to be a part of Zija International and Zija Nation. Folks, our health is our wealth, right? So we need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves, right? So that we can take care of other people. But we also have opportunities here to produce wealth itself, not just within our health. Yes, we have that amazing opportunity to consume these world-class products on a daily basis, applying them on the skin and also internally, depending on what products that we're taking and utilizing. My wife, Amy, and I use a whole bunch of the products. We absolutely love every one of them. We'll talk about products here in just a moment. But we need to make sure we're keeping ourselves healthy so that we can, spread out, reach out and help other people in their journey for better health and better finances as well. Folks, we have that answer. We have that right here in our hands for better health and better finances. And so today we're going to talk about how can we set ourselves up to be ready, to have the foundation built to go into 2019 and just really hit the ground running with both feet, right? So we're not going to wait until January of 2019. We're not going to say, well, it's close to the end of the year. There's going to be a lot of things coming up and holidays and all that season that begins. It's a wonderful time. It's a busy time, but we're not going to make those excuses, folks. There are no excuses for those that truly desire something different. They want to set themselves up to be the leader that attracts other leaders. They want truly from their heart, right, to help other people, to reach out to them, to make a difference in other people's lives. So I'm so glad you're joined with us today, the new distributors here especially. Let me just kind of recap, and then we're going to go into 90-day game plans. We're going to go into the system. We're going to talk about all these things in the next few minutes. So take good notes, but also now with, you know, the way the modern technologies, you can go back and watch this webinar over again and make sure that you have a hold of this information that we are delivering to you today. Now, ZJ International goes way back. Mr. Ken Brailsford is the founder of our company. Why do I mention his name? Because you need to know his name. You need to know who Ken Brailsford is. Folks, he is the only person ever to have already successfully done this twice, meaning has two legacy companies, Nature Sunshine and Enrich International are his two of his other companies that are legacy companies. It's important to know that because he's the only man ever to have already done this successfully twice, and those two companies are still in existence today. When I found that out back in July of 2009, I knew that I wanted to be a part of this man's company because of his very successful track record. He knows how to build companies that last. He knows how to have those quality world-class products that we'll talk about in a moment. He knows how to build the infrastructure. He knows how to build the foundation. He knows how to surround himself by just quality professional people, men and women, right? You can't do this by yourself. So he has a great team of other leaders that are there at the corporate level looking out for us out here in the field. Ken has said, and I've heard him say this himself, that ZJ will become bigger, more successful than his other two legacy companies combined. Folks, I don't know about you, but I want to be a part of that man's company and know that we can make a big difference in other people's lives because of what we have right here in our hands within ZJ International. So that's a little bit about Ken Brailsford. Folks, let me just talk a little bit here too. What do we have here in our hands? Well, we have world-class products. We have an excellent compensation plan. We have high integrity leadership. We have a simple, duplicatable system. And we also have timing. We're going to talk about each of these. Let's break these down just a little bit. World-class products. You need to know that we have plant-based products that are not chemical or synthetic in nature. Our bodies will recognize these as whole food, right? As the food that they are. Take it to the cell level. Utilize it where our bodies needs it the most. And literally healing and repairing within our bodies because of the power of Moringa. We are the Moringa company, right? We're the first to bring Moringa to the market. So we have, let's break down our world-class products. We have the core nutritionals. Those are the powders. That's the Moringa in the packet, the Super Mix, the Smart Mix, the XM Plus, all those different, it's all the Moringa in those individual sachets, those packets, and the XM Plus offers the plant-based energy as well, along with the nutrition. So you need to know about that. I'm not going into the lines of products for the sake of time on this call today, but just to let you know, we have those core nutritionals. That's one of our lines of our products. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Most people that are part of ZJ today are consuming at least one of those products of our Moringa products. We also have our Gen M line of skincare. It's so important what you put in your body, right, for healing and repairing and all those things, correcting, reversing, all of those things that are taking place. But it's also important what we put on our skin, on our body, right? The skin is the largest organ that we have. It's what people see. It's what is exposed to the sun and the elements and all outside. We need to take care of our skin. We are able to do that through our Gen M line of skincare. We also have what's called our Ripsticks line of sports nutrition products. Just look around. It doesn't take long to realize that there is a real emphasis on eating better and on exercising and protein intake and being able to enhance our workout sessions and our exercise routine, and to be able to do that with plant-based products. Folks, Ripsticks is the first line of sports nutrition products, first of its kind, that is all natural flavor, all natural color, and all natural sweeteners. It's never happened before in the line of sports nutrition products on the market today. We're the first to bring this to market. So very, very exciting, wonderful product line within our Ripstick sports nutrition line of products. We also have a Mayo, AMEO, essential oils, a line of products. I could talk the rest of the day and even into next week on the benefits of essential oils. But let me just say two things that are extremely important that sets our line of essential oils apart. One of them is clinical grade quality as opposed to therapeutic grade. Our line of Mayo essential oils are extremely pure and they are clinical grade, unlike other lines of essential oils on the market today that are therapeutic grade. Big, big difference in the processing and in the purity. And the next thing is also the cell permeability. Folks, the products that we take inside of our bodies and that we put on our skin needs to be able to penetrate the skin, needs to be able to work at the cell level. That's what our products do. And so you need to know about these core nutritionals, Ripstick sports nutrition, Gen M skincare, Mayo essential oils. We also have a weight management system that is second to none, has been working tremendously now for years, helping people lose their unwanted pounds and allowing them to keep that weight off. So they're able to gain they're able to maintain, I was going to say gain their better health, but what they're doing is they're able to get to their desired level, losing those unwanted pounds and the fat cells and all those things and ridding the toxins of our bodies and all of that at the cell level. So they're able to get to their desired weight, but also able to maintain that desired weight. Many, many people, we've heard story after story after story, people losing hundreds of pounds, right, over time. We're also getting into the clothing that we haven't been able to wear since high school or college or pre-marriage or whatever. And we're hearing all these wonderful, wonderful stories how people are able to achieve these results by utilizing our world-class products. I also mentioned high integrity leadership. Folks, I don't need to say more about that. We heard about Ken Brailsford at the top of the call and him realizing that the need to surround himself with quality professional leaders, businessmen and women that are able to get the job done at the corporate level and truly have in their hearts and their vision our hearts and our visions out here in the field that are doing the deal, that are getting the job done on a daily basis. They're looking out for us and they're making decisions and things, and their vision there at the corporate level truly has our heart and us in mind. And so wonderful to know that we have, they've got our back, right? And they're out there, Ken's leading this train down the track, and we just jump on and we enjoy the ride with all the world-class products, as well as the next thing, an excellent compensation plan. There's so many different ways that we can make money simply by sharing the opportunity and the products with other people. See, it's not just about me. It's not just about us. It can't ever be, in my opinion, just about me or just about, us four and no more, or, me and my wife and children, whatever. It can't, because I know when you help enough other people get to where they need to be, you're going to get to where you need to be. It's just the way that it works. And so those that have a heart, truly have a heart for other people, to make a difference in other people's lives, you're going to get to where you need to be by helping them get to where they need to be. And the compensation plan is set up as such to where when you do that, you sponsor 2 people, you help them sponsor 2 people each, just continue working that down in depth. You're going to absolutely establish a wonderful foundation. Momentum will begin, and you'll be able to find yourself being where you need to be as your income increases, as the number of people that you share this with increases, as your funnel grows bigger and bigger. But again, it's not just about you, it's about helping other people achieve their results and their goals as well. How do we do that? We have a very simple, duplicatable system. I'll go into that again in just a moment. Right now, I'm just hitting on what are the highlights of Zija International, or things that we have to offer. We also have the timing. Right now, going on at Zija International at the Summit Convention in Orlando, Florida, they're rolling out the Zija 2.0. It's been rolling out by increments over the last few months. It is actually taking our simple duplicatable system and our world-class products and our compensation plan and the way that it pays out, again, putting more money back into the pockets of the distributors. It's taking all of these things to a whole new level. So a very, very exciting time. And I know that we're going to be hearing more information about that in the hours ahead and in the days and weeks to come. Now, let's move on. I know that you're on this call because you have a desire to do something different in your life, or you have a desire to help other people. You have a desire to establish financial freedom. You have a desire to become more healthy. All of these things and many, many more are wonderful reasons why you have chosen to join us here at Zija International. Now, financial freedom gives us time freedom. Now, why do I say that? When you put in the work now, and again, what is the work? It's sharing with other people, helping them, making a difference in their lives, helping them get to where they need to be. You're going to find yourself where you need to be. But when you obtain that financial freedom foundation for your life and your family, and for other people, leaders that pop to the top on your team, when you obtain that, it gives you the time freedom to really be able to enjoy life. What are the things that you have desired to do for so long, but maybe you've kind of just sat back and said, I just don't think I'll ever be able to achieve that. Why? Well, because I'm locked into a 9-to-5, or I'm doing the business, building somebody else's dream, not my own, whatever it may be. I'm involved in this rat race, right, that we call just trading time for dollars. There's so many things that, and reasons and excuses, whatever it may be, but people find themselves being trapped inside this system. And you're here now as part of Zija International because I believe you want to break out of that. And you see this as a great possibility to produce financial freedom for you and for others, but that will give you the time freedom. So what happens when you gain that time freedom? Well, that means now those things that you have placed up there on that shelf, if you will, or you've put them on the back burner thinking, well, I'm never going to be able to bring them to the forefront of my life because of whatever. I don't have time. I don't have money. I can't achieve those goals and those desires, the things that I really like to achieve in life because I'm trapped. Well, this gives you the opportunity. As you see that income rising and as you're able to get to the point where you can replace your other source of income, you can find yourself and you can see that light at the end of the tunnel, and you can begin to take some of those things off of that shelf. And now you can begin to entertain those. And now you can begin to see them becoming a reality in your life. Not just something that you hope to get around to one day, No, you can. You can choose your destiny and being able to achieve those things that you've put on the back burner for so long and bring them off and actually make them now become a part of your life. You have that opportunity. Financial freedom truly gives us time freedom. Another thing that I think is beautiful in this business is that we're actually building new relationships. I love relationships. I love family. Family's at the top of my list. Family is so important. We just had another new addition 2 nights ago, right here, as our son and his wife brought into this world a new, beautiful little granddaughter, a little baby girl for us, for them. It's so beautiful, and our family continues to grow. But as we build our Zija family, we're building new relationships with people. We're investing our time, our energy, our money, whatever it may be, into other people's lives and making a difference in their lives. And that's a beautiful thing. As we do that, now from a business point of view, I call it keeping your funnel full. And that's an important aspect of what you're doing now to establish your foundation to take into 2019. How can you prepare yourself for that and for huge success in 2019? Again, not waiting, but starting now. And one of the ways to do that is to begin to build those new relationships. Begin to write out that list, a never-ending list of people that you come in contact with that now are in your funnel, and you want to keep your funnel full. You want to continue to build your funnel. You're going to have some that are going to say they need to wait a little while. Listen, we're going to talk about timing. Timing is very, very critical. It may not be the right time for that new person, that new prospect, right, that you just introduced to this. They may need some more information, or it may just not be the right time because they got something else going on that's just consuming their mind and their thoughts and their time, and they need to get that thing behind them first, and that's okay. We understand that. There truly are things that happen in our lives that means when they're introduced to this opportunity, they may honestly say, look, now's just not a good time. Let me get these things behind me, and then let's revisit this. Right? So you put their name on your list. They're in your funnel, and you're going to drop some tools, right, on them, a new video, a new document, another event. Maybe they have a moment or two that they can just join a webinar. They can take a look at a video, or they can watch a webinar replay, or they can look at a document of something new that's come out. Like right now, a lot of new things being rolled out at Summit, at the convention, but they're in your funnel. Right, so you want to continue to just drip on them because they've said, look, now's just not the right time. All right, so then what do? You can contact them again, shoot them another email next week, next month, 3 months from now, whatever it may be. But it's important to put them on your list and to keep them in your funnel. Another reason why timing is critical, and you'll hear this, is that it may not be the right time because they need more information. Well, we can absolutely help them with that. Send them some more links to wonderful videos that they can watch, lifestyle videos, Moringa videos, business opportunity, compensation plan videos. There's all kinds of things there at the YouTube Zija International official channel that you can go to and copy and paste that link and send those to them. In this world of modern technology, right, it's easy to keep things out there in front of people. It may not always be easy to know that they've actually seen it or looked at it, but when you do a follow-up phone call with them, you can ask them if they have had the opportunity to take a look at that. So because timing is critical, again, if they say, I need more information, you can certainly help them with that. We'll talk about that in just a moment in our system. If they say, now's not a good time, let me get some things behind me, then we'll revisit that. That's wonderful. Both of those people are on your list and in your funnel. So let's go over our simple duplicatable system. You may have heard it this way. Let's see, presentation and I'm running a blank here. Let's see. I looked down at my notes and I ran a blank. Invitation, presentation, and validation. Sorry about that. I was thinking of peak, pass, and plug because you may have heard it either way. You can say it this way. Here is our simple duplicatable system: invitation, presentation, validation. Another way people have come to say that is peak, pass, and plug. Same thing. Here's the system. The invitation is the part that you do. As a new distributor, maybe you've been with Zija for a long time. Maybe you're saying now's the time. This is going to be my year, 2019. I'm going to start now. I'm going to establish the foundation. This is what you do. Invitation. You're simply piquing somebody's curiosity, seeing if they have interest in that. Excuse me. You may share your story. You may ask if they're open to look at information. You may ask if they're open to nutritional products or to a business opportunity. You may ask them if they keep their options open when it comes to making money. I mean, there's different questions, right, that you can ask people, and to find out, kind of pique some interest, see if there's some curiosity there, and that's the invitation. Well, then all you want to do for the presentation, you don't do the presentation for them right there. You let the tools do that. And so you send them one of the documents, one of the videos, things that we talked about there just a moment ago, and you send them a tool. Let the tools do the work for you. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And there's no reason for anybody to say, I'm in this all alone, I don't know what to do, right? Because as part of Zija Nation now, you have people that you can contact. You can go to corporate, you can call people, you can call your sponsor, you can call people above your sponsor and that whole line of sponsorship. Make sure you get your questions answered, right? Anytime. Don't let any of those questions become a hurdle for you to stop you or to slow you down from your progress to reaching your goals. So in this simple duplicatable system, the invitation, again, piquing some curiosity, then you're going to pass along to them some information. That's the presentation. Let the tools do the presentation for you. Then you're just going to do a follow-up phone call and say, hey, did you get an opportunity to take a look at what I sent you? That's the validation. Now, all you're doing there is that if they say, yeah, I took a look at it, well, you want to connect them on a call with your sponsor or with your active engaged upline, someone that is actively building a Zija business. You want to get them on the phone. You want to be able to let your new prospect that's now looked at some information, you want to let them hear validation from someone else. And that's what we do. Like if you were to call me and just say, hey, I've got Joe on the line. Well, he's a new distributor. He's taking a look at some information. Here's what his desires is. You want to introduce him to me real quickly and meeting him over the phone. And then you just sit back and let me share my story and then ask him if he has any questions and then welcome him to join your team, right? And then I also will build you up as the leader that you are, and that he'd be on a wonderful team. We look forward to working with him. So that's how, it's very simple. You can say peak, pass, plug, or you can say invitation, presentation, validation, but that is the simple duplicatable system that everyone that is building a successful Zija business is doing it by using this system. So we talked about all the different things that Zija has to offer and that are available to us today. But as we look into now the next few weeks, couple of months going into 2019, folks, we have to take personal responsibility for our own actions. If I were to ask you right now, and I would call this like a baseline of belief, just very briefly. If I were to ask you right now, from a scale of 1 to 10, what are your thoughts, from 1 to 10 of the compensation plan of Zija? And you just write down 1 to 10, what do you think? 1 being don't like it at all, 10 being it's excellent. Write down a number. What are your thoughts about the compensation plan? And then another category. What are your thoughts, scale of 1 to 10, of let's see, that was the compensation plan of the company, of the high integrity leadership that we have, of Ken Brailsford, all those things that I are in this involved when I say company. And then what if I were to say the same scale of 1 to 10, what are your thoughts about our products, our world-class products? You would most likely have a very high number based on your understanding and your knowledge right now of those 3 categories. But then what if I were to ask you on that same scale of 1 to 10, what number would you put down as far as your thoughts and your belief system of yourself? That's where many times people may have a little roadblock because they don't necessarily or may not necessarily see themselves as being successful. Maybe they completely understand that Zeta International, with all the things we talked about, is the vehicle that's going to allow them to reach that level of success. It has it. We have everything we need right here. But listen, now it boils down to me and to you. What am I going to ask yourself that? What am I going to do in order to establish the foundation so that I will be able to be highly successful in 2019? Again, not waiting, but starting now and helping as many other people establish that foundation as well, setting ourselves up for success, taking personal responsibility for our own actions. You hear the phrase, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. What do we mean by that? Working on yourself more than you're working on your business, right? Now, we obviously need to be working on our business all the time, but also working on ourselves, personal development. I just say this way, becoming the leader that attracts other leaders. When you become that leader, when you work on yourselves and you read the books and you watch the videos and you surround yourself with these, quality professional people that have a heart for others, and all of these things are very, very important in what we're doing. But when you do that, you become the leader that will attract other leaders. I want to talk a little bit before we close today for a few more minutes on how do we do this to set these things up, set ourselves up and our teams as it grows. How do we do this to be ready for 2019? Well, set yourself some goals. And I'm going to say it this way. Let's establish a 90-day game plan. And if you say, well, 90 days, wow, that seems like a long time. No, it's really not. Listen, it was just January. It seems like just a few days ago. And this year has gone by so quickly. But where are you today as opposed to where you were on January 1st of this year? Have you seen progress in your life? Have you gotten any closer to where you really want to be in life? Or have you just settled for status quo and just become content with where you are, thinking that maybe you're never going to be able to achieve those things you really wanted to achieve? No, let's get rid of that stinking thinking, right? Let's get rid of that. And let's begin to take personal responsibility for our own actions. Right, here we go. So you want to establish a 90-day game plan. If you say, well, 90 days feels like it's a little bit too long for me, that's fine. Break it down. Do it in 30-day increments, right? I know Fred Holmes, you may have heard his story in this many times, how he did, 4 90-day game plans each year. Just kept breaking it down and kept on and kept on and kept on. Then he found himself in the top 1% income earners in the country. So you know what? It was worth every bit of that effort that he put into it. But he helped a whole lot of people along the way, right? And I know that's a huge part of his heart as well. And again, my wife Amy and I have been able to be a part of that. So it's very exciting to see what can happen when you establish a 90-day game plan. And then when you actually develop what we call a DMO, daily method of operation. Because what good does it do to set yourself and write down goals out there and even put a date on it, and it's right there in front of you, But what good is that? That is good. That's a great step in the right direction to write it down and put a date on it and make it specific, all that for those goals. But what good does that do you if you're not doing something on a daily method of operation that allows you to get one step, two steps, three steps, whatever it is, closer to that goal? So you have to break this down into this daily method of operation. You've heard people say, well, eat an elephant? What? You can't eat an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? Well, what's the answer? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. It can happen, right? You've heard the story of the little boy who was on the beach, and somehow in a storm, all of these starfish were washed up on the beach, and there was just hundreds and thousands of these starfish just spread out all up and down the beach. And there was this little boy. He saw this and he immediately started picking them up and throwing them back in the water, one at a time, throwing them back in the water, one at a time, over and over and over. And this older wise gentleman comes up and asks him, says, son, don't even bother. There's no way you can fix this problem. Look at all of this. And he said, sir, I can't help all of them, but I can help that one. And I can help that one. And I can help that one at a time. There's so many people out there, folks. There's literally hundreds of thousands, I'll even say millions of people around this world that are looking for what you and I have to offer. That's, again, better health and better finances. I'll even go so far as to say they're seeking answers. Many of them are praying for answers, specific things that they need in their lives concerning health and finances. So when you and I establish, excuse me, this 90-day game plan, and when we break it down, right, you need to talk to your sponsor to really establish what these specific points and bullet points need to be in breaking this down into this daily method of operation. So what that means is you're going to be how much closer to that at the end of 30 days because of what you've done on a daily basis. You're going to be that much closer at the end of 60 days and again at the end of 90 days. And then what I recommend, take a breather, rejoice, celebrate the small victories, celebrate the large victories, celebrate where you were when you started and then where you are at the end of that 90 days. Let's take a few minutes and celebrate those victories. And then let's start over and do another 90-day game plan. If you do that now, well, you're basically looking at October, November, December. That will establish you and your team the foundation that you need to be ready for huge success in 2019. So what are some of those things that we're doing in this 90-day game plan? Well, the simple, duplicatable system. That's what we're doing. We're inviting people to take a look at some information. We're letting the information, the tool, do the presentation for us. And then we're connecting them to your sponsor or someone active, engaged upline to get answers, right? And to continue to be able to help the new prospects get to where they need to be, and the new distributors and new customers, whatever it may be, getting their questions answered, being able to help them get to where they need to be. I can guarantee you, if you do this, if you get on the phone after this call or after the replay that you've watched, whatever it may be, and you make that decision, that there's that one moment in time that you make the decision to do something, to bring about change in your life by helping other people bring about change in their lives. And as you sponsor 2 new people this week, today, next week, and you help those 2 sponsor 2 new people each week, there's compensation plan bonuses that are in there that's going to be paying out to each one of us very, very well. You'll see that increase as your volume increases. You'll see your income increase. You'll see other people really getting excited because the system does work and the products work. And so we're being able to benefit this win-win situation of better health and better finances. And as you do that, Big Mo enters the house. Big Mo stands for momentum. You've all heard this talking about pushing the snowball up a hill and what happens when you get to the peak and it begins to go down the other side. That momentum, you really can't even stop it. You don't want to. It may seem like it's difficult to get that snowball up the hill, but as you're doing that, that snowball is getting bigger, right? Your team is growing, and as you get to the top of that peak, in the analogy, it begins to go down the other side all by itself. That's Big Mo. That's momentum. And that begins to take off and spread, and that ripple effect is just going bananas throughout your team, your entire organization, because you made a decision, that moment in time, to establish a 90-day game plan, to plug into the simple duplicatable system, invitation, presentation, validation, sponsor 2 new people, help them sponsor 2 new people. All of these things are so foundationally critical in what we're doing, in establishing yourself and others on your team to be able to set yourselves up for huge success throughout 2019. I know I've covered a lot of different things. Some of these things have just been like, maybe just like encouragement into your life, into your mind, into your heart today, but also breaking it down into the critical pieces that are so important to know what we have and to know what to do with it to establish this foundation for our success and for the success of others. So now it's just a call to action. What are you going to do with the information that you have? I would highly recommend that you do talk to your sponsor or your active engaged upline, that you do take a few minutes, whatever it takes, over the phone or get together face to face, find out what's going on, right? All of these things, I would say, plug into the simple duplicatable system. Sponsor 2 new people this week. Help them sponsor 2 new people. All of those things. You don't have to know everything about the comp plan or anything about Zija, about all the products. There's no way to know all of that, but to know where to find that information. You have a back office. If you're a distributor, new or you've been here a while, we have our own personal back office. All the documentation is there. You can copy, you can send that to people and get answers to the questions that you have. Again, don't let anything become a hurdle to stop you from achieving Big Mo and this momentum. But I would highly recommend set up that 90-day game plan. You'll be so glad you did. And anytime throughout the first 90 days, if you feel a hurdle, if you have a question, again, contact somebody on your team, that active engaged upline, that sponsor, person that brought you into this. Work together as a team, lock arms. You are not alone. No one has to be alone within Zija International. We have all the Zija Nation. We have your specific organization, your team, your family. We have all the corporate level, and we're all here for you to help you establish the most successful finishing out this year of 2018 and the most successful 2019. That'll be your biggest and best year yet. I want to say thank you to all of you again for jumping on this call today, and for Fred allowing me to have the opportunity to fill in for him today. We're excited to hear all the great things that are taking place at Summit right now. So stay tuned for all of that information. And when we hear all that rolled out, then certainly apply those things to yourself personally and to your leadership. Become that leader that attracts other leaders and make a difference in other people's lives. As you do that, then we will see you at the top. Thanks again so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day and the rest of your weekend. Bye now.